or afternoon, since you basically get to be making your own schedules right now. So as everybody knows, schools are closed until we really don't know when. But one thing that we do here in Mercer County is we do the breakfast with a book. And for any parents who are watching and you don't know what I'm talking about, that is just where kids come in and they eat breakfast first thing in the morning, and while they're eating, their teacher is reading them a story. And so we do this every single morning, and I always let my kids pick out their books, and I'll just tell you, my class is absolutely, utterly obsessed with the I Survived series. And that is what we have been reading for months now, but they're very educational and they're based on real events that did happen. They are not true stories, but the stories that are written are based on real events. So one of the books that my kids had picked out for us to read next is the I Survived the Shark Attacks of 1960. And this is written by Lauren Tarshis. So every week I'm going to be uploading a chapter a day, so that way if you want to have your kids, just like we do in school, if you want to have them read or listen to our story while they're eating breakfast or whenever. I know my kids they really enjoy these, so I wanted to make sure that I did not deprive them of getting these read if we are out for a long time. So today's chapter 1, and I'll show y'all the cover again. Okay, chapter 1. We always start out by saying, whenever we first start reading these, my kids are starting to get used to, chapter 1 is always the most intense part of the story, and then whenever we go back to chapter 2, it goes back in time and tells the story leading up to that most intense time. The chapter 1 is just kind of a little attention grabber. Okay, so chapter 1, this is July 12th, 1916. This is in Elm Hills, New Jersey, in the Matawan Creek. So it's inside of a creek. And a creek is not like a river. It's a little smaller than a river, but a little bigger than a stream. Okay, it says, a feeling of terror came over 10-year-old Chet Roscoe, a chill deep down in his bones. He had been swimming in the Matawan Creek by himself, but he had the idea that someone or something was watching him. And then he saw it, a large gray fin slicing through the water like a knife. What was that? Could it really be a shark? That was impossible. Elm Hills was miles and miles from the ocean. How could a shark find its way into this little creek? But there was no way. But now Chet could see it coming toward him. A gigantic shark bigger than Chet himself. The black eyes staring up through the water. Killer eyes. Chet dove toward the shore, pounding through the water, kicking with all his might. His feet touched the bottom. He was running now, looking over his shoulder. The shark was right behind him, its huge jaws wide open, its white dagger teeth gleaming in its blood-red mouth. And that's the end of chapter 1. Alright, so that was chapter 1. We will do chapter 2 tomorrow. Go wash your hands and get your assignments done.